Bibri, Mr. Taking Time in Rida. Yeah, Crana Mirefi. Nana Maje.
Kwabi, Bejoso.
Oh, yeah, Deputy Tourism, so on.
Aye.
Into how many ministries? Deputy Tourism, Information, Labor and Social Welfare. These three, right? And I'm a missing Bakubio.
Debbie one.
Okay. Nipa Baku, man of many parts.
Tourism, not many Hawaii Kubu.
Hawaii Kubu. Yeah, that was the early days. Oh, may she rest in peace. Kwesi Maje. Boko there. Hey, na kwesi Mike na me. Kwesi Pacho kase bi me he.
Max music ho
kwa. Gonna I am muffled kakra, sorry. Anopɛ that. Nana. Maintain wonka. A Supreme Court in the Parliament. Kwesi chair na during last week. It was quite an interesting, heated, passionate in Koma Idiwa. But you being Obia Watram Rashebe Mudano, it would be nice to hear your thoughts on you are masters of your own procedure. The Constitution is the boss. Supreme Court ruling here a day Kasa de Bebra Mashebe Germany and some speaker back being kind, some another president kind, and your minority leader kind, yam Kofo Bebre kind. Me sure say also I drink chere ewo ho. Uhun say.
Yes,
I know.
You made us. I'm the Supreme Court. I say, "Mom, the Bayenya yati judgment, no." Na niema bakumi no bi na epie wo. Yes, yes, I didn't want bobo. Judgment in there. I'm saying clear.
Yeah.
Na court no kind. After judgment, you know, Ghana from penny 4p at Cheryl Madrid.
Yeah.
Adventure no. Me no be uncle ye papa amame.
I see.
You know anami ensembi. I thought so back. Hey, ye represent President Mahama.
Yeah.
I can say judgment na abano. A judgment of convenience. Mischievous. After Yenya Haruna Idrisu, I also hear minority leader of parliament and name. I also can say judgment, you know, a Supreme Court support for e-levy.
Yeah.
I'm saying you're a backbone speaker, so I can be found.
Well, I can say a reckless, absurd, yeah.
Kwame wahu. Na yera President Mahama kind. And na yera Idrisu Mahama kind. Haruna Idrisu kind. And Tasum Kra. And Fatam Penifo. Especially President Mahama. Supreme Court ama judgment. Kwa be you biya na enyo mo be ya dwen. Ene de boni biya enim. Obetimi aka say won so hwe senambra ne tina oni Supreme Court in ya dwen. But Kwame okoka say Supreme Court judgment no omo won gina so foforo a nyamra no omo hwe na gina so foforo a we di o matem.
Oh, nya also adwen na woche.
Debbie. We di o matem. Na wo chere ne say court no anhwe mra no nom de ma judgment no. Na emo no mo hwe other considerations. So okoka say court no judgment na mischievous. Na a judgment of convenience. Like you say, be before for no more share. O man hwe mra no. We deal matter. O can say judgment just support for e-levy. Now chair court and say enye mra no more share. Na mo support for e-levy. Tino ma o massa judgment. Say uti he Kwame.
Yeah.
Na minim party awe
Ghana.
But to the fan say we CPP ni. Na so tie dwam ya we ni ya discussions yi. Ye fan say na be kan bia no. Enu se e wo se na wadwen ehu niema no. Anamboa. but so can be we do a drink tree ba na me ne onya adwen ese metimi kire so kwa me ase me a wo kan de me ngindi ana se me no onya adwen
yeah
na me ma ungina so ti a me no onya adwen wonso ne me nya adwen betimi a kire me se o nana na wo kan me no onya adwen nso me ngina so ni but se me kan kire se kwa me no onya adwen nana wo kan if we say we support to CPP entina wo kan sa
ana NDC ana NPP
ana NPP me di watem now I have impugned your integrity as a host of this program. That is what I've done. So I can criticize you. I also come in on your dream. Jina Swana would they cancel me jindi. Me shemrana senate. But I will dream.
Yeah.
Son also shemrano. As I catch I said now can you call me as be a convenience because I'm a political party. Tina Okasa. There's a made sure and say, "Nyawa drink," and now they a Juman.
Say, my drink cry machiano.
Wachiano, Washadan Wachiano, because of your support for a political party. So, now in system penny 40 say President Mahama. Penny 40 say Haruna Idris or Mukasa. Now say, who undermine integrity of the Supreme Court? It's a major state organ. Now, if you are a former president, GDS will still be the president. Now, undermine Supreme Court in this way. How are you going to work with them? What can say judges on your drain on the year other considerations. That's a Kasani free opinion to say President Mahama. And I have at time. And then me yaw kesia was our judgment. Na anybody be so I can say oh same way Supreme Court more interfere with the
with Parliament.
Then but can say I mean to me we share ni pan for we share munim dear. There is nothing like interference. So I'm Kwame. The constitution is based on checks and balances. Anambwa. Yeah. Anything a president or any appointments are or the parliament for approval. Parliament is another organ of the state. Anambwa. The presidency and not the executive is another organ of the state. It is obia yen juma sen onu na dwen chair no dia. Na ehun kan hu hias constitution no ka say o the ministers no o person o power ministers a parliament for approval. Come on, cancer. A check and balance. Nebano mra poya a boy in ya home by I a friend constitution will brought for me. A bano say in tia CBM ba a fa na constitution no chair. The only authority I beat me a chair the way forward.
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. It's so clear and it's so elementary. Well,
yes.
And MIA, yeah, they called down in Supreme Court to say deputy speakers voting again, can we? These are way and somewhere is provided for by the Constitution. They are provided for by the national Constitution. And the interpretation, you know, it solely lies with the Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court is the only body able to interpret the Constitution na ebedimu.
But I'm interpreting a bit like a on your money.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. I say, judges no more no money se be abofo. Amunye abofo. Amunye ni party se me newo. So into omo anka so omo hihye no e san so munim so omo nya abofo ntin. Omo on hihye for review. Nti ene ya Supreme Court ama judgment on sa parliament assembly. So GD pass on your monya drain now office and jina so no mo jina so no and twasum and I say bibi fofo bi wo ha ma for ma drain amba so a obetimi akọ appeal.
akotwe madwe abaso
yeah akoka say o mo afa madwe anko we so mo afa my kind mo judgment no my kind mo ngina so no but my who say mo afa madwe anko ha mo afa madwe anko article we mo afa madwe anko clause we nti mo san hwa asem ni bi we o this condemn Supreme Court and review what they call that court appeal the same thing you can appeal the Supreme Court now share no gives room for appeal because judges no near above
yeah
even na bibi o ho man twamaji dem judgments no ba o hwem ka say oh me hu ngina so na mo de bae but mo afama dwan anko we nti mo san hwa asem bi you are allowed because the nipa na court no so mo nye angels well until na ye ma normally cry ma one judge entina so it be a 3 5 so na be ya you be majority even the Supreme Court decisions is by majority decision majority chair say ye nya agitum say omu nya o madwen nya tan bia na nya be kofaako that's why I say nipa miensan konkotena so nipa 5 so na be ya so madwen ankwa you can take the majority into 3 te be 2-1 and now 5 so akwa 3-2 and now 4-1 well into we the 7 a chance here say adwen no po ke ko say 4-3 nipa miensa Supreme Court je miensa adwen say and then 9 say no ubetimi ko review but na me chair no say o madwen tre even though 7-0 omunya 7 ni nya chere say ade a omunya madwen hu yie pa omunya I convinced say na sembra no eko but still me wo kwame kwesi we can still disagree and criticize them say o there be gina so na mo de buy etoaso your view and boni bi anim
and as President Mahama so any view Aban Bagbe any view Haruna Idris any view
yeah but your view should be based on the law not on motive. We can't motive us out here.
Just say a pobi
will trim and farm running. That's what you're saying. Because even studio hakitia kitwepo ya tea kwame. O can be na me chair say kwame asema o can a pobi ne will trim near semna e kana wo so but a pop fufuro bi. Me do what them. My chair say when you're qualified to objectively be a moderator. And that's what John Mahama, president, has said to the Supreme Court. That's what Haruna Idris has said to the Supreme Court. And yet, at time. The person may question, yes, I'll give you instances. In Ipanu, be favor there, hey, court near Papa, in favor of the no deal matter. Electoral Commission can be in favor of the hey, Papa Mobianco, come, in favor of the hey, Omania Papa. I can give you, but this is not the time, probably. But a ban of Supreme Court there will be some media. My point then is say, my view on judgment, and on judge no more on my dream no is now the law.
But dream chani bi wo who soon so e bi wo ha e bi si ha dream. For example, last Friday na mene Kwesi Prato ha oka say ono he disagrees vehemently. It's an insunsan so I bit media ba oka bi bit say deputy speaker Obabe Jiremu as speaker. How do we trust his neutrality? So bit me at Tuaba. Intia my yen by a constitution ko hey ni intia deputy speaker bit me Obabe Jiremu as speaker because of MP before. Eti mama mo judgment, but ehun sun so no. Yeah, engineer no so nka ho. And I say strictly just the law, into the law.
Kwame.
Ana.
Nsusu so ne de. Just a matter of sitting down and revising our process. That's all. That's all. And you be I said no so much in Deba. So look, the electoral commissioner.
Yeah.
So to Aba. But whoever is electoral commissioner presides over the elections. Anambwa. At the local level, the presiding officer. At the polling station, Kwame. Yes. Polling station now or to Abano. Nipa na all share elections. There no presiding officer. Meboa.
Ono hesu.
Ono hesu or polling station. On to about polling station. So we also record to number. Number. In the BBBI. The only thing I understand, Supreme Court at Chemrano. The one say Parliament will adjust this. Parliament standing orders. I'm going to adjust them to comply with the law. That's all.
Dr. H and Professor H. Kwesi Prempesuka Simbi say, Omo said that Sani no Mashebe Dreamtino says Sani Chan. Okay, Bibi said the fact to say over such a long time doesn't mean says constitutionally right. Into Supreme Court has the final say, so we should live with it. Do you agree with that?
And what I'm making, you should live with it. Whether you disagree or not, you have to live with it because as for disagreement, there will be a mima drink. Any Kwesi drink, any drink different. Well, what do you know? It is a bibi bani nya and tiasia. It's the same way say wow nim say nan tiasia ni ho.
Yeah.
And tokwa be say menu ana miensa menu ana me can say impensa. AC wa parliament. Ema nya ye di ho areho because of santiasia ambe anamba. Because of this same tiasia we say me nipa tibetna studio ha. On this matter, Kwame, Ekotu, eka say me ma drink training is way say and say way. Momu Kotu Constitution, meboa.
Yeah.
Kotu Constitution, Kotu articles, Kotu clauses. Edi support to case. Ebi do so betina hanska there be many way no nyadwe, me so ma drink anyway. And they quote Constitution, the same Constitution, anamba. Sometimes they quote the same article.
Yeah.
So much
interpretation
different. You know, in Tiabano sa yenya nipa yenya ni baby free by your orientation. And the society cannot come to a standstill because yenya drink and coffee. That's why there's provision say a banisa yenfa sem no down Supreme Court. Omu manchri mo that's final. That's the way forward. Until we now feel to comply with the law. Almost say deputy speakers can vote. It's up now to if I don't say standing order maybe no constitution as standing order and any constitution so it has to be changed. It has to go.
Round 093.
Yeah, and this parliament now has to sit down and rewrite some of the standing orders to comply with the law, which is the ruling of the Supreme Court. That's all. But I mean try to say, let's not bastardize the institution of states because we disagree. So, and then not just the Supreme Court. And then shrug Emma judgment to be na mimenjin to moi. I say me chere nenti a menjin to. Se mrano me feel say shrug we ni we no man hwe ni ye. Sa mra we man hwe ni ya na sa engineer so yom de buy ni nimremu na keka. But me be can say menjin to na shrug for penyin no or the master judgment because of the support for NDC and I say assume it's in a appointee then I am bastardizing that institution of state. I am scandalizing them. And that is what President Mahama has sought to do. That's what Haruna Idrisu has sought to do. At time, I'm paying for. They should set a better example.
They should set a better example. Peace 104.3. Nana Akomia and Motene Nkano. Kwesi, anything else are there new angles that you want us to look at from last Friday in Common ADM?
The Supreme Court has never been and would never be the final authority on anything, including the law.
How is that possible?
The Supreme Court exercises the power of the people. The Supreme Court acts in the name of the people. Yeah, sovereignty, no, and you take a crema Supreme Court every year. So ultimately, no, it is the people of Ghana who are the supreme authority. Why? Constitution, it has provisions for amendment, and amendment.
True.
So at any time, the people of Ghana can decide to amend the Constitution. Indeed, the people of Ghana even have a right to abolish the Supreme Court.
How is that possible?
Why not?
You may abolish the Supreme Court?
Yes, and set up something in its place. The Supreme Court, as currently constituted, is a constitutional creature. So if you change the constitution, you can change the provisions on the establishment of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will become a new creature. And this is a Supreme Court there, almost castle being Kabi, is the final authority and so on. This is not true. It cannot be true, at least at the level of theory, because they are acting in our name. If I know, if I'm thinking, Master Kwame Pachopi, sir, you got to obey. So election results now my NDC 137 and NPP 137. Kasasa Wikidepida.
Let me send you Obi Antimin contested.
Because we can picture it would have been a non-issue as well. So the main issue is the fact that we have a hung parliament, and it's about how to deal with this hung parliament so that it can deliver. That's all.
But at the end of the day, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter on the interpretation of the law.
You can keep your view.
I like
I'm not
that.
going to change your view. You can keep your view. But I'm saying is whether it's the executive, the parliament, or the judiciary, the people of Ghana are the final authority on their work. Executive, judiciary, whatever, is the people of Ghana in their collectiveness who are the superior authority. But you can keep your views. I'm not going to contest it at all. As I make and say, Nienti ama we na ba ni 137.
137.
Na mi media we hope. Parliament in Ankasa have a lot of problems with Parliament. Kwame. Parliament over the years has operated on the assumptions that there should always be a majority and there should always be a minority. That's how Parliament has operated.
Yeah.
After the last elections, we should have realized that some majority minority. We are in a new dispensation. Now, if we were in a new dispensation, what Parliament ought to have done was to write new rules and regulations governing their work. Now, we have to work within majority versus minority. And as Speaker Kope Onwani Kwandi Koye Bibi Bekache said, oh, and majority party, majority group, and so on. It was just failing to appreciate the reality. Now, since our parliament is called into session, numbers game in the numbers game, and the numbers game is not working. It's not working for NDC, it's not working for NPP, it's not working for Ghana. This court case is another part of the numbers game. Numbers game.
And one more year.
Fakwaya do. I see just a numbers game. Na ye pekwanya. Sanya ye ina de bia ye ken. Ye benya national consensus na the national consensus na ye duma. But still, ye the numbers game so. Nobody can win.
Because we're overly partisan?
Not just that we are overly partisan, because the figures, the numbers, it gives us an impossible situation. Kwame, government bill then the bit with the parliamentary pass. If you continue this numbers game, bill then.
A bit pinch, so you're not 11 brain. 11
pay. Apart from 11, nothing can pass. Because then you say you near back, why are you want to be in parliament in Kotuaba? It would the independent no crack or can work 137. Parliament in branches say paya. Na lose. You understand? It's a numbers game, and not dear boy. Deputy Speaker Kotua balance one Kotuaba. How does it help us to solve this problem? It doesn't help us in any way. You understand? That's my worry. I think Mimi Green said the biggest problem we have, and it's a consensus building, it takes a certain quality of leadership. Not any ordinary leadership. A certain quality of leadership. Some quality of leadership in the and ye bubro ya hu ye ni aye chale metiachira ma ferry portal. That is what is happening. In any case, there's a Supreme Court final arbiter. Wama ruling. What can page 24 of the Supreme Court decision?
There be.
I say yes. It is unconstitutional, but it should go back to Parliament for Parliament to amend its own rules. So what the Supreme Court is saying. What if it goes to Parliament to say there be rules?
It's an order from the Supreme Court.
No, Parliament is not bound to be directed by the Supreme Court.
It says it is unconstitutional.
Yes.
Any constitution bra. Yen name say be any constitution bra. The constitution supersedes.
So you go to Parliament.
Parliament
says that it is not unconstitutional. As far as we are concerned, it's not unconstitutional.
It doesn't.
We are going by rules.
Respectfully, I disagree.
Yeah.
It doesn't lie in the mouth of Parliament to say it's constitutional or not. It lies in the mouth of the Supreme Court. In the Supreme Court, the bench say we know a unconstitutional. In no sanko and go and amend.
Have you read the Supreme Court judgment?
Oh, because me or how? The first time, the
Supreme Court itself says the only reason why they are able to intervene in this matter and to make a proclamation is because there are disagreements as to what the law says. And that normally, Parliament is a master of his own rules, and that the Supreme Court is stopped from making rules from Parliament. It's in the judgment.
Nasa onka so your rules amamo.
So the rules have to be made by Parliament. And Parliament says that our rules are correct.
No, Parliament can't say that.
Kwame,
hey,
I'm not going to argue with you.
Okay, well, let's see how it pans out. It will be interesting. Says Supreme Court. Akacho say Kokrokoo. Senior Moyemo phoning segment. There's a BB in the Constitution in the Bebra. Ain't you know Monsesano. Na any align with Constitution. Na
Parliament in Kokrokoo.
Na Parliament. Oh, then I'm come back to Parliament.
Parliament in Kokrokoo.
Parliament, Abeka say
the
Supreme Court
of
is
the
wrong.
Separation of powers.
Na Parliament, Abeka Supreme Court is wrong. They're constitutional.
Was it?
And then Parliament will say no, it is constitutional.
Masa, Tio.
Yes.
So see how you say Supreme Court a human institution. And I'm a boy.
Of course.
Na a human institution, you know to me from so and I'm a boy.
Of course.
So Supreme Court from so. Parliament has no right whatsoever to go and correct the errors of the Supreme Court. Parliament, for example, cannot say the method of empaneling judges no and proper. And that it leads to biases and therefore the Supreme Court must change it. Parliament cannot even pass laws to that effect, even though Parliament is the institution for passing laws. You are dealing with a complex situation. And yet better, sir, and yet simple, sir. You understand what I'm saying? And yet simple, sir, and yet better, sir.
Yes,
and I want to say who can was some purposeful interpretation of the law. In the final analysis, what do we envisage? So the interpretation of the law would lead to. That's a critical question. It's a critical issue. Very critical issue. Now, no correct meaning Nana Kumiaka say, and this will be a Supreme Court attempt, and also undermine Supreme Court but it's so with all the institutions. Master, as will be the man penny attempt. You can disagree with the president. You understand? But I don't think that anybody has a right to insult the president. Similarly, nobody has a right to insult Parliament. You understand what I'm saying? So it's mutual. It's mutual. Media, bottom line. Sound numbers give me Speaker Betuaba, Speaker Antuaba, and so on. Bottom line, it's not helping us. Besides, South Carolina Constitution is very clear.
Yes.
It is clear, even though speakers and so on belong to political parties. The Constitution expects a certain minimum neutrality once you sit in that chair. That is why who Parliament you elect you as Speaker have to vacate your seat.
Yeah.
If you are an MP. It is because of the expectation of the Constitution, a certain minimal level of neutrality.
Yeah.
Why? And Operator say a friend is saying electoral commission to about. Fine, electoral commission to about is true. But Ochina Nopa, my electoral commission no CPP careless.
And your post.
No CPP rally like in spite of to about. So there are limits. Electoral commission put them make quite do. IGP, Inspector General Police.
The other day, okay.
Inspector General Police, Manin Mamusion Kano.
Peace FM.
Now, China, one question NDC careless. So we expect a certain minimum of neutrality for certain categories of public officers.
Okay, I said Friday, because the problem is the Constitution. Because of the way the Constitution says, before I'll be a deputy speaker, you have to be an MP. And the Constitution itself is silent on it's assumed say as long as we're MP, your constituency should not be denied, even if you are a deputy speaker sitting in for the speaker. Maybe that is where the fundamental problem is from.
I will agree with you. I will not disagree with you. Ghana, Yenya Speaker of House, Peter Ala Ajete. No OD MPP chairman.
Yeah.
Go and talk to the parliamentarians. He was one of the most fair-minded, independent speakers this country has ever had. To the extent is about say yes to the about the crown. The opponents, and the proposal no support you. I like.
Interestingly, back when we are in a movie, then as minority leader.
Exactly. Why? Why not name him say do a Jahori NDC? But once you sit in that chair, a certain level of neutrality is expected.
Once you sit in that chair as speaker.
As speaker. That, the speaker's chair, that's the chair I'm referring to.
Yeah, and they just.
A certain level of neutrality is expected. Now, if there's a neutrality in your book, so I won't go to a speaker, I will to me too.
Oh, yeah, deputy
speaker, I don't say, all those in favor say, yay, now it's working, yay. I'm Robin. All those against say, nay, now it's working, nay. I'm Robin, in the parliament. Master, bottom line is that we should make efforts at building a national consensus. That's all.
Interesting conversations this morning. Peace 104.3. In the meantime, you're listening to us live. Madame Diana Mogri of Sunyain Technical University. Thank you very much for listening. Madame Diana Mogri of Sunyain Technical University. Have a beautiful day. We'll look at other issues. Chairman General, to sustain our democratic governance, let's respect our court systems. The Supreme Court only interpreted what is written in the Constitution, and that is the law. Burma Samson, UCC. The verdict by the Supreme Court is clear. We equally have archaic clauses that need urgent review, like Article 91. Okay. Kodje Edupako Achim Esium. I'm surprised former President Mahama joined others to scandalize a state institution like the Supreme Court. It's the same court that declared him president years ago, Kamal Amasaman Bruning. Maybe Kwesi Pratt should also explain to us how could the people of Ghana collectively exercise their final authority in this matter. Abeku in Lashibi. Through referendum.
Through building pressure on parliamentarians to amend the Constitution. There are many ways.
Kwame, when the Supreme Court ruled in 2013 for John Mahama to be president, did they all get it right? Didn't prominent lawyers disagree? Didn't they say the court even got some calculations wrong? Ghana did not ban. Why can't we just compromise and move on? Ni Ayi from Osum. If the Supreme Court is not perfect because they are humans, how different is that from Parliament? They are also humans, Abi. Alfie says that one. If the Supreme Court doesn't have the final say in constitutional interpretation, and the people of Ghana do, ask Kwesi for me whether his interpretation on constitutional matters should be taken on board. It's strange to allude to the fact that the people can reconstitute the Supreme Court. I think it's quite an emotional one. Francis Brakwa in Kumasi. No, Kwesi hasn't said Parliament is above the law. JC in Pankrono. Okay, move on. And then It is interesting how the minority in Parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, and former President Mahama up in arms against the Supreme Court for performing its role in interpreting certain aspects of the Constitution. It's disappointing to hear them and read their reactions. Nana Ikuyamu Boateng, Ablekuma Central, sends that one. Kwame, on matters of the interpretation of the Supreme Court ruling, please look at paragraph 2 of IX on page 24. Such as the UK, US, Canada, Australia, where the Speaker is elected, the Speaker has a right to vote. Albert Esman in Awoshi. And then Malik in Kumasi, good morning, have a beautiful day. Nobody's wearing NDC MPs. Why, for heaven's sake, would our constitution be so crafted that it would deprive the people of Bekwai representation in parliament because their representative is sitting in for the speaker? Kwame, I'm from Bekwai, and I'm calling on our MP to resign his position as deputy speaker and represent us fully. Kojo Usu in Ablekuma. Well, Kojo Usu, at the end of the day, even if he resigns, because of the constitution we have, one person from the NPP may have to go and sit in as speaker, or one person from the NDC may have to go there. Kwame, ask this for me. On the day of voting on LGBTQ, if the speaker is absent and the two deputies decline to preside in order to vote, and some judge is elected to preside, which obviously means the minority is disadvantaged and the vote is tied, how will he feel? Shaggy in Babiani. I see your point. Those heckling and running down the Supreme Court judgments are setting a bad example. If we all fail to obey and accept the Supreme Court, then what's the essence of the Constitution in Ghana? Let's stop the hypocrisy and dishonesty. Michael in Ashalaja. Kwame, the two deputies vote only when there's a tie. In that case, if the deputies were not seated, they would have voted in the original vote. In that case, when deputies are speaker, the final decision is not changed.
A problem.
Yeah.
The standing orders say that when there's a tie, the vote has been lost. So
no, when the speaker is certain, not when the deputy speaker acts.
You about on anything. Now say 137, 137, it has been lost. So you won't go for casting vote. Casting vote will never arise. What do you say? So a casting vote doesn't arise in Parliament.
Now I don't know Parliament. Any other comments? Casting vote doesn't arise in Parliament in this particular matter. Any other comments? Interesting conversation.
Yeah, Kwame. Interesting conversation. I find them interesting. The Supreme Court acts in the name of the people.
Yeah.
So what do the people want at this time?
Well, the Supreme Court has determined.
So what the Supreme Court has determined is the way forward. Unless it's fine. Everything that we do in the name of the people. But you can't go and do a referendum at every occasion. That is why the arrangement we have puts the mandate in certain institutions. Because it's not practical to go and do a referendum on anything. And those institutions know which have been designated by the Constitution. They stand in the name of the people. Simple. They stand in the name of the people. Because at this time, how do you determine what the people want? Yeah.
Referendum.
Referendum. It's also a referendum. Every issue. You see, it's the president who nominates ministers.
Yeah.
And it's parliament which approves. It may be that a lot of Ghanaians don't want that particular person as a minister.
In a lot of cases, yes.
In a lot of cases. But you've given that power to the president and parliament. And if they decide, say, Kwame Sefa Kanye should be there, something for a year, that is it. Unless everything they say a referendum, that is not practical. It's not possible. So those institutions, when they decide, they are deciding in the name of the people. Unless we do a referendum, and we haven't done a referendum, so we don't know what the people want at this stage. Now, a Supreme Court Kasa, of course, we also have our views, and we are candidate.
Yeah.
Then they say you can disagree, But don't impugn motives to the Supreme Court or any other institution. Even program in this small studio, Kwame, if I were to impugn motives to you, even with the panelists, with the panelists, many kwesi ati hey. Na se kwesi adwin chire or chire. Na mene ne nya adwin. I have to state. Ebian say me state my adwin on the or can say the name of the people. Can you imagine if I tell Kwesi in his face, say Kwesi now Kenya engineer so you are saying this because you support John Mahama?
That would be disrespectful.
Yeah. And apart from that, I'm impugning his integrity. And if you can't even impugn a co-panelist integrity, you want to impugn the integrity of the state institution like the Supreme Court. And you see the people doing this, minority leader in parliament, former president of the republic, who should know better. These are high people in the society. And look at what they are saying and look at what they are doing. Instead of showing us the way, look at what they are doing and saying. At time.
What if I'm now so?
Kwame, me catch you say asema okay is because you support CPP and Jina so one way.
Ebia na wunyina so.
Jina so one way.
Inti na ebia me maybe say mami wunyina so.
Inti say your friend Haruna Idris is on Supreme Court no me change na so na dey na go.
Na so be inti me friend no. I'm a friend.
Kwame. Emre Daniel. Won't you afraid nipa bi court na Supreme Court omusu mia.
You see your real size.
Every omo million papa no. Oh now tia.
You see your
These
real
were
size.
powerful people at that time.
We are contempt. We are different.
Oh, but
we are substantially different.
But if you scandalize the
criticizing a judgment after it has been delivered is different.
Yeah, but scandalizing.
We are not talking about we are not talking about criticizing the court. I mean, there's not a problem. And now, question there's a difference between disagreement or criticizing and impugning motives. I'm just a question. I can state and state the basis. But if I tell you that now can so because you support to end this year, I have impugned motives to you. I'm not criticizing you. I'm saying that now Kenya come on, you so time okay the trim can be Trimupo be our keke because of your support. Now Kenya is not because you have your objective reading of the matter. Until let's criticize, let's disagree, but let's not impugn motives. All can be Kwesi catchers or no nyadri.
Yes.
That is it. Fine. Or bit me actually in Jina so bit me actually. But some catchers asema okay is because we and I we are. How will you take it? That's all that we are saying. Now Kwesi can say the Parliament can refuse the order from the Supreme Court. If they refuse, it means Parliament is breaking the law.
And I make
it's a very simple matter. It means you are breaking the law. And you cannot refuse. Now, Parliament, what is the Parliament?
They make laws.
No. I mean the Parliament as it is, as one body. Is it one body? Yeah. Because the Parliament can refuse. Which Parliament?
Parliament.
There be opportunities said there are divisions. There are two sides of Parliament.
Yeah, but they all collectively take decisions.
In fact,
but there are disagreements, open disagreements.
In fact, Kwame, this Supreme Court ruling here is precisely because Parliament Adrian Kofako.
Yeah.
Simple. It's precisely because there's disagreement in Parliament. That's why we had this controversy called Supreme Court. In the Supreme Court at Chair Kwino. Now, there is no contradiction in what the Supreme Court is saying. Almost say, to me, and yet rules for Parliament. So go and do your own rules. And Kwesi, there's no contradiction. How Parliament procedure Parliament obey law is left to Parliament. Parliament is master of his own rules. But Parliament is not master of his own laws. Parliament is subject to the law. But Ishishaya obey to obey the law. Parliament Supreme Court Mawo. Look, let's remember that this is not the first time courts a directive parliament by stating what the law is. Okay, 1997, 1998, the holdover ministers. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, let me just refresh. Maybe I know BT and okay. In 1997, President Rawlings nominated the ministers. The majority side, and the government said, some ministers now are nominate you. Yeah, momo vetting.
Yeah.
Because hold over ministers.
Carry over.
Ministers in 1996. And so they are already in the position.
Yeah.
And there's no need for the vetting. That was the position of the government and the majority in parliament.
Yeah.
At that time, the majority, this is the NDC, 133.
That was your first time in
the
parliament.
The minority was 61 plus 4. CPP for an independent for now 65. It was 133 against 65. There was no contest.
No.
So almost as for the old ministers, yeah, mumba vetting and more bibisibis or monsem. Yeah, mumba ministers, they're already in position to vet. The matter went to the Supreme Court.
I'm saying J.H. Mensah.
J.H. Mensah of very blessed memory. And the court ruled, say, approval is approval. You have to go to parliament for approval. That is the law. Now, how parliament conducts the approval, dear, I'm going to say it is not a term of art. It's okay. And so parliament can devise its own approval process. That is up to parliament.
But it has to go.
But it has to go to parliament for approval.
Yeah. Make eyes idea.
That is the law. That is the Supreme Court directing. So those holdover ministers had to come to parliament.
Yeah, for vetting.
So we shouldn't pretend he said be and coffee who be down Supreme Court that can be before parliament. Now this business of parliament can refuse to obey the law. Into a parliament, if the president brings a nominee for an appointment, no more rejecting. Now president say me so me independent. And I'm still going to work with the person. How would the society move? So parliament has no option but to obey. And it would be extremely surprising if a Chnom and I know say na Supreme Court can they cannot and they will not choose to disobey what the court has said. They would have to bring a procedure to allow the deputy ministers to vote because
deputy speakers
to vote because that is the law. That's where your being masters of your procedure comes in.
But Joe says also actually quite in a setting where they didn't talk on the buy. Mra or city as speaker. And no sorry. Or Chayama, Esiama, a 2 year. I'm not sorry. Say over Kito, and I saw Cofaned Road. Into a phrase, Yama Betras. And I saw Cofaned Dra, or Kurio Soka Kotoa Bedan in Tokar.
Sir, at that time, now the way wasn't clear as to whether the deputy minister can
the deputy speaker
can vote. And then Parliament may decide, say, now, sir, Joe says, should be the procedure. You leave and hand over to your colleague, deputy speaker. It may now be what Parliament will adopt. In Shishena, Parliament, bet one day, it's up to Parliament. That is where they become masters of their own rule. And that is what is going to happen. But they cannot refuse an order by the Supreme Court. Because even though there's separation of powers, there is also checks and balances. Some make a choice. They say, Ochina, Parliament rejecting Minister B. Now President Lucas said there's separation of powers. Yenya will stand up against the president or the executive. Because the law is the law, unless it is changed. And We see can be about whether Parliament can pass a law about the Supreme Court. Why not? Why not? And I want to say, Kokrokoo can say the way I should know about appointment to the Supreme Court and put a cap on it.
That can only be done by constitutional amendment.
Yes.
Not by a law.
I'm saying Parliament, but constitutional amendment, who will do it? The Constitution is, unless it's an entrenched clause, Parliament can change it. Yeah. Parliament can change it.
On the prompting of the executive.
So
Parliament
there is nothing like strict separation of power. The system we have is separation of power plus
checks and balances.
Checks and balances. And to one way away. You must look at it in both ways. And the Constitution, the whole structure of the Constitution is based on separation of powers as well as checks and balances. That is why, even though we're president, you can't say when you nominate, go and subject that nomination to approval
by Parliament.
And that's why it provides, it says, the president will nominate somebody onto the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court cannot nominate his own judges. But then you go for approval by Parliament. So all the three arms are involved. That is checks and balances. So you shouldn't look at it from just one way. Now, consensus building, nobody has a quarrel with consensus building. When we come to a consensus, we are happy. Say, oh, it's okay. Say the name.
Yeah, I can call them Krumwa.
Yeah. But there's no problem. I mean, we are human beings. And Parliament, look, in a lot of cases, for the majority of cases, there's consensus. There are one or two few ones now consensus, which then brings controversy. And they are not did. But in many instances, majority of instances, Parliament does its work by consensus.
Look,
even in this parliamentary number C, a year close. Look at the ministerial approvals. Look at the ministerial approvals. If strictly they had voted on partisan lines, many of the ministers would not have gone through. Many of the ministers would not have gone through. There are several, in fact, the majority of cases is by consensus. One or two, there's no consensus. But at all times, when there's a consensus on major issues, where our democracy is better, because he said they calls for a certain leadership. I agree. The leadership that we've had in this Fourth Republic, Kwame Ube, who said the platform for inter-party cooperation, it's a part of our political culture. Look, President Rawlings, in those, we're going to maybe continue maybe some of these things, but in those 8 years he was president, I don't remember one occasion who share leaders of the minority to dialogue on any matter. Obeka President Kufuor Bayano, because where there's no meeting cooperation between the major political parties and Boyan. Obeka as a President Kufuor Bayano in the very few months of start here, and he met the leaders of the minority. Kwame Sokai.
Yes,
at that time, the minority that was Abam Bagbin.
Yeah, why minority?
In 2001. And the back graphic, you move President Kufuor and Honorable Bagbin laughing at the castle and all of those things. And then President Rawlings Kruya, he made a comment. I think he was misunderstood. Well, but I can say, Sanko Fuyomo Fremo, I'm careful because nobody edit political gains. It's okay. It was misunderstood. I think President Rawlings was sounding a caution that we should be careful we don't make political capital out of it. But that comment, if that meeting between President Kufuor and the minority leadership way back 2001, Sinke Twaso, by this time, there would have been a durable platform for inter-party cooperation, consultation, and consensus.
Is it not even more important now because of the 137?
President Akufo Dubai, so Kaya, within the first few months, he met with all the former presidents.
Yeah.
He met with the leadership of the political parties, and we all thought this is a good thing. Unfortunately, it hasn't continued. As for President Mills and President Mahama, Minkai, any occasion where we saw them meeting with other political parties to judge on national issues. Minkai. Enti, but Kwesi is true. We need a certain leadership culture that would.
I'm saying that in certain for you can you want you and no bro for maybe I just saw the foul.
There be also open you hang out. I refer the matters to him.
To open you.
Now me know so they
oh, but we are better. So I'm not going to say okra.
Eti na me can say. O share ya bra boy in the Fourth Republic ya. Say meet ye need opposition for a share near to adwin and sakra na the policy no they are to adwa because they did policy in betuja. I just say ya especially in Shishaya a national importance.
For mining now.
For mining now. So me put the nyanka every policy bia there should be Argentua. Now, Kwesi King, it's not just at the political level. Many in Tempe, you know, a lot of the Ntiasia Emba in Tokwa Eba is because it's a ministry with the policy aba or the Shishaya aba. A fact teachers in one teachers is here. I mean, in this country, I mean, it's so common.
Yeah.
A lot of the PM banner, this striker, Nancy ministry be the policy by. On my say policy no form of no. I'm saying Yanian Antona Andrea. Am I Nintino? That policy has been suspended. Meboa. Nancy, the academic calendar.
And year one.
And there are several. There are PE. Sa culture. Culture, I mean, can you say?
I heard this opinion.
Sa culture now for consultation, even at the sub-A level, anyhow. And if political leaders say to me, at the kind share say, you need other political parties be share regularly. Na ya to adwen ya hwese no man ko because o man ekoye ma yinya e bonso a e boto yinya so nke ebeboa ende me fo aso pa well na my last point then is the deputy speaker obetimi atena edwem as deputy speaker obetimi a vote and still be neutral in the deliberations of the House.
Okay,
because the Constitution itself provides that the deputy speaker should come from political parties.
Yeah.
That means the Constitution agrees that these people are partisan creatures.
MPs.
Yes. They should come from. The Constitution could have said the deputy speakers to, like the speaker, should not be a member of a political party.
But one can
say. Also, they should be members of political parties. And the Supreme Court rule, and the people can do their work just like the Electoral Commissioner.
Yeah.
And then we are the presiding officer at the polling station. We are Okofo too, but he's the one supervising
the elections. Culture is Amania. Amania. And I'm very confused. Amania. Amania
is matter. Amamre is culture.
Amania.
No.
Amania.
Yeah, but you can amamre.
The esro amanie and esro amanie
na mamre
and esro amamre.
Oh how?
Oh the opinion ejekum chirebo.
Amamre ni amanie is difference be no.
Different.
So interpretation.
We
have Supreme Court.
We have yes, Kwesi. Meantime, Yesi Obi has been granting interviews arguing that the Supreme Court decision is not binding. Dr. Atu-Edu Evans, Georgia. Well, it is binding. It is very binding. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Okay.
But Kwame Pacho, President Mahama, Assembly and Pan Okaya, in the Supreme Court. In the final analysis, also Papa don't sign review. Now review no the qualifying Supreme Court where I know they
go. Before no say a ruling of convenience.
Yeah, but he finally he says let's go back to the Supreme Court.
That's what he should have said in the first place.
No, that's a certain level of confidence in the Supreme Court.
But then why does he say it's a rule of convenience?
But Master, are we not entitled to our views?
Your view should not malign.
How is it maligning an institution? Let's go back to the institution.
Me catch yourself say okay, it's because you are NDC and this is my view. How will you take it? You know. So you can say that.
The point is that the man finally says, let's go back to the
and is now becoming behaving like a statesman.
The same statement to one statement. No. Same statement.
No. His first statement was as a judgment of convenience.
No, it's the same statement in which he called for a review.
Now, okay, but if it's a judgment of convenience, it undermines your own call that the people should go back to the Supreme Court. Because also, I don't mind your margin did that. Also, my your margin did that. Okay.
Master, how can we say that? We know what the people of Ghana want. Why? Fisa E-Levy by I've followed all the polls. Joy FM, independent researchers nearly. Master, Pula E-Levy dear 26%. Everyone 98% against. So, immediately passing E-Levy. Are you not acting against the interest of the people? Because the interest of the people has been established. It has been clearly established. E-Levy by prominent people in the New Patriotic Party about Enadipa, MY. Check the poll results. It is so clear.
Supreme Court, why a poll?
What's it?
Supreme Court, why a poll?
Supreme Court. Why would I do a poll?
Oh, okay. So we are talking of the people. Oh, so you are quoting polls?
Yes, I follow the polls. I don't just a minute.
No, I follow poll because Supreme Court.
No, me. So who be a factor in the kind?
What they call so we are.
Yeah, me. You understand? So clearly, no, anything which subverts the will of the people, as can be determined today, it's not proper.
Where we? Na Kwesi, nasema kama mentiasi.
Na
mentiasi. I'm sure mentiasi. Supreme Court judgment. Is it the will of the people? It is not the will of the people.
Now, quick one. Amamre is culture. Amanie is tradition.
Oh,
we'll come to that. Yes, yeah. Amamre culture, Amanie tradition.
I see.
Yeah.
Back
to your will of the people.
The question is Supreme Court judgment. Who will will of the people by? Now I'm saying, what is the will of the people in this matter? What is the will of the people of Ghana in this matter of the Deputy Speaker?
So your own opinion poll.
What they have said.
There is something else which came out.
Which is?
About MPs vote through and so on. Why? MPs chairpersons of committees, do they vote? They don't have original votes.
But they have a casting vote.
Yes, but they don't have original votes. And
as we are, Kwame, those things, they are moot because the Supreme Court has ruled on this matter of the deputy speakers. They have ruled, and that is the way forward. You can disagree. You can say, Chama, way, fine. It's all good. But they have ruled. Now Kenya and BBI, unless you go for a review. So that now is the law. And that can be interpreted as the will of the people.
The will of the people, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Peace 104.3. And to Ajimedian, so near say bit me, so let Kwesi Pratt know the Supreme Court ruling is not final because a review can be done if the plaintiff makes an appeal. Well, that's what Kwesi is saying. The fact that the Supreme Court represents our interest does not mean that the judges must please us. They gave the ruling based on reasons given. And so, Ghanaians cannot pressurize the court to overturn the ruling. Eric Ampon-Samboateng, tax expert. And, okay, Amani and Amamre, Mohamed Ibrahim, I have so many people sending it in. Yeah, thank you very much. We live and learn every day. Debia Ishia Bibi. You Amamre's culture, Amani is the aspect of the culture. Opening Kwachi. I'm sure say it's a good platform for us all to learn. And Ebebwa. Chairman General, Supreme Court interpreted the law, but they didn't instruct Parliament how to do their work. Okay. Daniel Ochre, East. Where in this world does a poll on taxes meet the approval of the citizenry? Kwame, where in this world do people love paying taxes? Alfie sends that one. JSC Atuguba then hit the nail on the head when he said, quote, some people think they can hold the country to ransom simply because some decisions do not go their way. Unquote. Kwame, for Christ's sake, when the courts, even though not perfect, are only cause of seeking redress. Insults can only turn to slaps and the sharpening of spears and machetes. Let's avoid that. Martin in Navrongo. Nana Hesse Ojiri says, so if the deputy speakers who take the chair are refused to vote going forward, will any member of the House put him or herself up for that position? Nana Hesse Ojiri. It says, a quick reminder, President John Mahama issued 2 tweets. The first one said a unanimous 7-0, shocking but not surprising. An unfortunate interpretation for convenience. Does this not cast an image on the Supreme Court? Okay, so there were 2 tweets. Okay, I didn't know. I thought it was just one. Farouk Intema, until our constitution is amended to change the powers of the Supreme Court, they remain the final arbiter of our laws. Simple and short. Farouk Intema. Well, we've had an interesting conversation here today. Nana Yampoana.
Kwame, is that on our Supreme Court?
Now, me Supreme Court, you know, me panelists are me Supreme Court. You be bufa so what me consensus building.
No, it is a way speaker.
I am a consensus building.
Now there can be
Ebiana. Oh, say Ebiana, you Bibiana, Madrin Babaso. Sometimes it would be nice to.
The topics
anyone?
National road safety, we can be
yeah. Road crashes, no. Where you make if you are no question?
Oh, Master Patrol. We can be daily dispatch. Yeah, me kind story now. Was a rickety vehicle menace. Over 1 million not roadworthy. Driver and vehicle licensing authority says. And he tell it now. Me ask me say kind. So yeah, the end DVL if one Casabeka chase say more than 1 million vehicles in your roadworthy and so on. But me kind story no. Who be the and I own kind.
Minkai full story.
I shall say has said to be continued. Until be a continuation at Weber. But basically the story is about graphic going out and talking to drivers and passengers. There's nothing about DVLA in the story.
Oh.
Well, we can hear back page.
Which newspaper?
Daily Dispatch.
Daily Dispatch. Oh.
My Sima no pass and the DVLA can somehow but anyway, accidents.
Car crashes, yeah.
Last accident, yes. Socialist movement of Ghana,
Oh.
Yeah, back there on the spot. Back also critical condition. Enya depa. Ababawa University come University of Education. I should know. Some very beautiful girl, Charlie. Last time about Congress.
Okay, University of Education students.
Yeah. Very sad.
Kwame, a accident see.
Yeah.
I'm saying count topics now. I'm saying national road safety.
Yeah.
Expresses worry over increase. I'm saying I can't say me wa enya baby accident ba ye dey hu abobo obi a che na dream and so many times no adwenkyerɛ no can fa nya adwuma onim emra no on highway one of them key mra of highway onam tim quantum ponso a
hey, uchi ibo.
If you achieve stem, achieve stem. Me no brain. One of them a fat unam quantum ponsoa. Rather say, Mika will be 2. Once I'm rather,
oh yeah,
should be 100 kilometers an hour. Just a one don't worry about be a walk 100 kilometers. I am raw.
Yeah.
In fair, sometimes we be police for ejina kwan ho kuta fidie bia ebetimi a check sa usmeka wutu but endorse na simple dey me hu bi a check na say me took na ko chrome kakra be 4 times in the last 2 months me hu police for say
4 times in the last 2 months. Should we be expecting some news?
Say omo be police IGP see betimi on betimi atosa efidie ya check and meeting measure na me fancy every 20-30 kilometers bia and as omo dos mo kwan so a ebe ma drivers no kra etimi adimra ne so because me say uhum be a police for kwan so a check esan say police for na check speed na endorse with him. Many drivers go beyond the 100 kilometers an hour na T2 passenger buses. What was that, Kwame? Accident bapua. Nobody friend no impact. Sena nipa be plan. Ejina speed no so. Kwame so nam 10 kilometers an hour na ko boka bia. Impact ne a different. From senka nam 50 kilometers an hour. And I senka nam 120 kilometers an hour. Now share particularly for passenger buses nipa bese 30 40 50 18 9 18 20 on the spot. Let's just say impact no na so. Now the bigger your speed, the bigger the impact.
The impact, yeah. So anosh
enti say betimi ya anya hwe kra po ni betimi an hwehwe police for T2 to check the speed. Accident no kra sia e prepare na ewo no e hu no se na e hu no ti anya hwekra de yembo mo de anya no nko.
Maybe say a question we should not ignore.
Yeah.
4 times in 2 months to your village. Should we expect some news?
News Benza.
I don't know.
Oh, they say a year na keka.
Ebia.
Now ukro mo call how many times in a
Mikro nemu de hin.
Ana mpanyifo na no almost 3. There's a own kokra.
Mikro nemu de hin.
Ba me so okro.
Because we are politician, it na me bisa say me expecting news to be ana. Ebia na we feel kai kwa obe consult him to go retire.
Peace FM.
Me who kala check akaba benim say na ne birthday 6th March.
Na oba na so dina.
Obani to run for president.
Because me who no man.
Oh, me sure I feed you over. Ebia the next one over. Kwabena eje.
Makin kan 1212.
24 then me sure so beba. Anyone can tell.
Oh, say be any birthday.
Because my kan be you ha ma me hwe na men kan ma okwa. Bisa. Kala muso ina hoso obo.
Crazy. No, but what did the birthday? I can't be there. It's okay. Birthday. I can't be there. It's okay.
No, I'm not against what he says. I mean, who am I? Who am I?
The way I feel was your bad. The birthday, no, I can't be there.
Because Usimi people.
Na you go baby ojina. I know you see me.
What's your card then?
Okasa he doesn't rule out. He doesn't rule out. He'll make a fine president.
And that the Mofrebe Mukra, say will be a fine president. Magana it was shut down CNP. Now, in some way, we can win CNP. And Tisa.
Question, Pratt.
Who do birthday?
Yeah.
Na media for ba. Near the mouth of a fida. No BBC so now at the same plans the same. Oba can be.
Maybe birthday be of Bisa me say.
Now birthday no say I would go see. Me say I'm telling me no 93. Me no birthday.
Obi any birthday.
That's the problem.
Kwesi birthday August BB I'll find it.
Okrabo oni. Kwa mi po oni. See any more.
Na kwesi August me boy.
Kwesi say any birthday wo peace FM na ba. The peace as anything what 30 saying on saying. Oh the peace as 30 saying on saying.
Okay, on sinipi. Okay. Etikala sinipi ni ehu. Kwesi price sinipi. Nana me da say kwesi we da say adopay. Wa we tie me titru so na me da say especially Mr. Rahman Malik Timte or Shama District Assembly, belated birthday wishes to you. Mr. Rahman Malik Timte, belated wishes to you. God richly bless you. And also to Mr. and Mrs. Poku Mensa Ewa Patasi Estate Kumasi. Me mamu good morning anope mi chiamo anope Mr. and Mrs. Poku Mensa Patasi Estate. And I'm come Mount Zion Methodist Church. Mi chiamo nyina anope Edamasi say modimo fidia to her. Na mami nuan fans Dr. Kasati and Ura Kwabna Ejekum of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana. Me who say mo story be about Finder newspaper mo anope into Ura Kwabna Ejekum, our executive secretary Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, and Dr. Kasati or ye penimpa yes maiden professional exams maiden just say new one cram my so you say we are marketer wa ha ntimi in ye national president Dr. Daniel Kasati Damasi papa and minua panyini Ora Kwabna Ejekum mo near Juma. CIMG students excel in maiden professional exams. Thank you for pushing the bar of professionalism higher. Up we go. Peace 104.3. We're checking out on a brass band note. DBS is some style, you all. Lawyer 24, good morning. I know you love this kind of music. It says greetings to Daniel Jani of PKF AK Ortega. Big shout outs to the Ingozi crew and Jesus Loves Me from Seke. Once again, happy birthday to you, Prisla Rabna Saki of Nemkem. Have a great day, Prisla Rabna Saki. Birthday wishes to you. Shouting out to my posse in New Jersey. Kojo T and the family. Shouting out to you, fire. Somebody's asking, where's the Bobobo music? Okay, tomorrow I'll play Bobobo. So tomorrow we'll do Bobo Boy. Bako. Bobo the bro. Yeah. Matadi people are coming out. Hey, Yoko. Hey, Bobo. That's tomorrow. I call Brand. Tomorrow is Bobo, don't worry. Today I'm going to the Anchors Live. It's time to lawyer 24. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us by ear, voice, text, and ice. Have a good day. May your day be blessed. As always, remember to keep your dreams and hopes alive is all you have. I leave you with my prayer in the book of Numbers in the Bible. Numbers 6, 24 to 26. And I entreat you as always, when you stop to say a prayer, remember to say one for me too. Kokrokoo Bilson is next. The next news is at 12. God bless. Good morning.